tricks me almost every day. Sometimes she's nice, sometimes she's mad.
Out of nowhere?
Yes, it literally comes out of nowhere, and then she comes over to me and she says she says she hates me, stuff like that. And then she comes back and she's happy again. I don't know what's wrong with her.
Is he talking about his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that never goes away, Bo.
So I picked him up from school yesterday, and he just starts going off about how, like, he doesn't understand why his girlfriend fluctuates with her mood all day long.
Yeah.
And
you tell
I'm
him,
like,
you
this
tell
is
him
dope.
Uncle Rob hasn't been on a date in 2 years, and now he understands.
That's why.
Yeah, he knows what's going on.
Man.
That's one of those things, no matter how much schooling you get, Bo, you'll never get the answer to.
Well, that's what I told him, basically. I said, don't try and figure it out. Just go with it.
Do you even know the answer, Jamie?
Well, I mean, later in life, we can blame it on hormones and shit. But, like, no, I think that's just who we are. We're emotional, and we like to fly with the emotions.
Do kids have hormones? Or is it just
Sure.
super low levels?
Yeah.
Or maybe her mom has hormones and she's just mocking what she sees. Like, oh, I'm supposed to be. I don't know.
Possible. I don't know. I just thought it was so cute that he is dealing with this and it's stressing him out.
So speaking of audio clips, Jamie, we got a special. Read that.
Okay. PJ Pants from Dan. Rob, Jamie, and Kareem.
That doesn't matter anymore. I'm over it.
First time, long time. I'm a huge fan of the show and have been listening for years. 2019 to 2020, you feel me? LMFAO. Pajama Pants has brought me so much entertainment, I really wanted to give something back in return. I don't know if y'all were looking for a theme song, but check this out. I'm a classically trained vocalist from Juilliard and went on to become a first-chair percussionist with the Philadelphia Orchestra. After spending too much time in the clubs after work, I was inspired to become a DJ and have now been working some of the hottest clubs around for over 10 years. To show my appreciation for my PJ's crew, I did what I do best. I sampled one of the finest beats of all... Oh my God, don't tell me it's my song. Laid down some vocals and came up with a theme song for your podcast that I think y'all will really get down with. I hope you like it. Much love, DJ Danny Dan.
1, 2, 3. Rob, Kassem, Jamie are the shit. Rob stands to wipe his poo. Whenever they go out, their fans will scream and shout, would you look at those pajama pant tits? La 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 la.
Hits.
Pajama pants. Damn,
that's good.
Wow. You know, he really threw me with his like self-introduction. I was expecting.
Yeah.
Kassem knew. Kassem knew what was going on.
Yeah,
You
the
knew where I was
Juilliard
going?
talk, because nobody goes to Juilliard and then to the orchestra and then becomes a DJ unless something goes very wrong.
I bought
You
the
should be
whole
a private
thing.
investigator, man. You really pick up on
sniffed
shit.
it out. Me and my schnoz just
I'm
sniffed that one out.
clearly easily
But-
catfishable.
Jamie's gonna forget what the song was, and tonight she's gonna go home and tell her husband, like, this guy wrote into our show today from Juilliard and a DJ.
DJ Danny Dan.
DJ, yeah, what was his name?
Was he banging on a bucket?
Kareem was on to you, DJ
Danny Dan. Yeah, I think that was like, you know, when you go to like a barbecue restaurant and they serve you the beers in like the tin bucket, and he just flipped that over when he was done. And
Respect.
yeah, sometimes
Thanks
it's the
for the
simple.
effort,
Thanks,
man.
DJ Dan.
Takes time to do shit like that.
And if you're in the Philadelphia area, you need somebody to DJ your wedding or birthday, quinceañera, make sure to hit up DJ Dan.
Clearly.
He's Juilliard trained. So how about we start a show?
Let's do it.
We should start the show.
Welcome to the show. A few things I wanted to bring up.
Oh.
I'm just so fucking horny.
Put that book away, Rob.
I'm so fucking horny, you guys.
I know, I
ready.
rode here with you.
I am ready to bust.
Let me just say that Kassem walked in, didn't say a word to me, just kept like winking at me. And like,
And especially like around
gyrating?
the Harvey Weinstein trials going on, he just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I come in here and I just start giving it. I'm just filled with all this sexuality, and it's spilling all over the desk, all over your shirt.
Who would you be
This is what
throwing
such a
it?
change
Who would
from,
you be
like-
throwing it at if Jamie wasn't here? What do you do?
You.
Bryce? I don't know. One of these. Okay, Jamie.
Anything with a heartbeat.
Jamie, F, marry, kill right now.
Oh.
Kassem, Bryce, and George.
Choose wisely. The decision you make now can ruin
I hate this
any
game.
one of us.
Yeah.
I hate this game.
By the way, transition. That's a note I have right here, just so you know. F, and I just fucking seamless.
Yeah, it's good to
Seamless.
and also call it out every time you do a transition.
I did. That was my first. That was my first transition of
Yeah.
all time.
No, it's
and
good.
I needed to
This
let
is
the
actually,
fans.
like really mean.
I'm trying to
ask
give
me
you
right now.
time, James. Okay,
Wait, what are the options? Me, Bryce, or George?
Can I say? I'm gonna
Yes.
write down the answer because I think I know what Jamie's gonna say,
Okay.
and then we'll
Write
see.
it down and I'll tell you.
We'll see if I know my Jamie-Lee.
I would say, can I answer for you first?
No. I don't want us to influence her answer. That's why I'm doing.
Just know Bryce has got very big hands and feet. Okay, all right. I'm just saying. I saw him piss in a river.
Sorry, George. Okay, go ahead, Jamie.
Okay. I'd marry.
I can't. Just know I fucking came in here feeling super sexy.
Shut up! Come on, just don't influence her
Okay.
shit.
All right.
I'd marry George.
Yes, I knew it.
What a terrible life you'd have.
Wow, George, you were dead in my scenario. You were 6 feet on. You were the. Oh my
man.
God! Wow. See, you
I'm about
just
to either be fucked or
This
killed.
is terrible.
you just don't know. Oh my God! I am gonna be. So let the emails
Yeah.
flow if we're killing my boy Cass.
Oh,
let
man.
the emails flow. Jamie,
Choose
this is your
wisely,
moment.
Jamie.
Take the
Fuck
stage.
Bryce and kill Kassem because
Oh!
Kassem, I just can't because I love Lindsay. I can't do
He's
it.
leaving. This is our first walk off.
Bye.
Oh my God, Jamie.
Dude, he was great. Yeah, we just had Dr. Drew on, so we're gonna do a debrief because it was he had something for everyone.
He
So when
did.
Kassem stormed out, he actually went to go get Dr. Drew, and now we did that, and we decided just to stay here
we're
and
getting
do
out
another.
of that marry fuck kill conversation.
Yeah, we decided to do another podcast. Just
Yeah,
right
wait
back to
a
back.
second. What was the end result?
is-
You're dead,
Straight.
pal.
First of all, it was very hard for me.
Unfucking
Second of all, it's all because of Lindsay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a lie. You can't do F Mary kills like that. It's all
No, it's
about.
fine. She understands. It's more just like I
By the
want to
way,
know
what
I'm
did you
sexy.
think I was gonna do?
Oh my God, George is dead. George
Who was I marrying?
dead.
And fucking,
You were marrying Kassem.
No, she's gonna marry
You're
Bryce.
fucking-
Bryce
fucking the
would make
shit
a
out of
great
Bryce.
husband.
would you
Yeah.
make a good husband, Bryce?
Excellent.
What
Absolutely.
makes you
You
say
by
walk
the way,
all over the guy.
I think the two of
He's
them
big
would
enough
make.
to protect you.
you're a provider?
I think the
It's
two
true.
of them would make a better husband than Kassem because they're so sweet and everything. But I just think. Okay, listen, Kassem's. I posted a video of you driving and your rage, your road rage. You're just a fucking. You're a
I don't
madman.
know why. I don't know why I come here just to be abused. I
You walk-
drive you here to be abused.
You walked off the show.
No, you. drive
Dr.
here
Drew is the
because-
one telling you need to seek help.
I know because he
You
doesn't
got
really.
trust issues. No wonder you can't trust a woman.
Because I'm honest.
You've been
I-
stabbed in the back.
Listen,
multiple times.
Let me say something. People, our last two
Oh,
podcasts.
this is his coffee, by the way. I'm going to put the rest of
Ooh.
his coffee in my coffee.
2 podcasts ago, we had a podcast called Team Kassem, and I just want to let people know.
That wasn't my idea, by
I
the way.
want to let people know. You know who's Team Kassem? This guy. I'm fucking Team
Oh,
Kassem.
yeah?
Let me tell you.
Prove it.
Let me tell you.
Make a shirt.
A few things. One, when I was moving out to, I decided to move to California. I said the only reason I'm moving here is to start a podcast, and I wanted to do it with Jamie and Kassem. You could pick 2 people in the entire world to start a podcast with. I wanted to do it with you more than anybody.
Well, no, I
So sweet.
appreciate that.
Yeah. And the other thing is,
I still think I'm totally fuckable, though.
since our last podcast, we've gone to comedy shows together. We went to dinner together. And let me
Yeah.
tell you something. At our dinner together, you know what we did? We did business. You know what business is? Business is when he orders one thing, I order another,
And you
we
share
split
it?
it. If you
Wow.
think I'm doing business with somebody I don't love, you think I'm eating off of somebody's plate and he's eating off of mine.
No, but I know you, so I was very careful
You
about
guys are fucking
choosing.
crazy. No, but I made the decision. Listen, babe, I
I
just
thought
want
that
to.
was Dr. Drew walking back in.
Yeah, he's like, I just can't
threw
get
them
You guys
all.
are a mess. I can't leave consciously. I took an oath as a doctor.
You need help right now.
Yeah.
He pulls a gurney out, puts you on it.
Like
no,
all
I
his
just because
equipment.
people have been saying to me like, "Oh, you and Kassem seem like you guys get into it on the pod," and then we talk about it on the way home. Like, do we really? And you said that you feel like our nerve endings are just so damaged that we don't even notice that we're bickering or going back and forth.
No,
I don't
you're
see
just
it as
so,
bickering. We
you
bust each other's
trust your
balls.
relationship so
Yeah.
much that you're able to
Yeah.
act that way. I think it's a positive.
I don't-
Joey said that. My girlfriend has said that.
Yeah.
Everyone I'm close to has. No, they say, "Oh, why'd you let Rob talk to you like that?" I'm like, "What do you mean?
Oh.
And
what are you
that's,
talking about?"
That's the part that pisses me off. It's like for some reason you get the like sympathy thing. I think it's because like I
yeah,
have
you're the one with the rage issues.
No, there's steroids in my asthma medicine, so I think it makes me a little hair triggered. You know, it
Yeah.
makes me a little crazy. But the fact is, 3 podcasts ago, we sat here and you Me Too'd the shit out of me. No one brings it up. You're like, you want to suck my dick. You want to bend me over and blah, blah. Nobody says a word.
It's true.
Robbie says a little like, oh, Kassem's angry in the car.
I
Everyone's
block
like,
that out?
oh,
When was that,
Kassem,
when
are you
Joey was here?
okay? Remember when Joey was here and we were talking about them kissing and he's like, you want to see us kiss. You want to blow me.
Kassem was so down to kiss Joey. Did you not see that?
If I say something, people are going to
Jamie,
get
what are
angry.
You were so
Jamie?
ready.
I've kissed dudes. It's for comedy, dude. I'm so straight.
Yeah, it's hilarious
I'm
when
so
your dick
fucking
gets hard when
straight.
you're
I
kissing a
don't.
dude.
It doesn't matter.
I don't. It has nothing to do with like your sexuality.
Absolutely
like, I'm
Of course
not.
not.
judging it.
I wouldn't
No.
kiss. I wouldn't. No. I wouldn't
What was
do
that, Cass?
I wouldn't do that, dude.
You just said
Probably
you've
not.
done it. What are you talking about?
For jokes.
You
know?
didn't want to kiss
You
Dr. Drew.
I want to
Dr. Drew is
we
different.
taped that one, right? I want to
Yeah.
rewind because when we were like money, Kassem, you did this thing where you were like
Yeah.
turned
Oh.
your body.
No,
Jamie.
Yes.
I just looked at you.
We need to
I just looked at you in a
rewind
sexual
to-
way for the first time ever, James.
I'm dude.
Well, it's because I'm acting.
I got to.
So you're saying when the idea of me kissing another man who was sitting right beside me came up,
turned
I
your
I
body.
presented my
Yes.
body like
You assumed a position.
I don't believe it.
Ready and willing.
What are you
I don't
trying to say,
believe it.
Jamie? Is this why you'd kill him? Because
No,
maybe.
it's just an observation that I have about him.
Wow. So Kassem wants to kiss guys, and you want to kill him?
Yeah, what is up,
That's
Jamie?
the
Jesus,
only reason
James.
why I
Is that
wanna-
all the anger you
Actor
talked
Drew,
about with
Dr. Drew is
Drew?
right. You are fucking angry, lady. Come on, George. Come in. What do you got to fix something? You gotta
Putting it down.
chime in over there. What do you
Should I
got to
read
say?
some
Is that
emails?
your indie France?
Oh, look, ever since she said he's never come on, now she says she'll marry him, and he's fucking prancing over here and right next to Jamie. What a scumbag.
George will never miss an
Whoa.
opportunity. He sees a wounded deer and he will
Whoa.
pounce on it.
That's crazy. He never did
know.
anything like that before. And we got to move the. Whoa, George. You want to do it again, James? F, Marry,
No.
kill? Are you sure?
No,
You
it's fine. Let's not put her through it, but I could answer that.
Let's say I did an F, Marry, kill, and I killed Kassem's girlfriend. She's dead. Now you redo your F, Marry, kill with Kassem's girlfriend dead. How's that?
Keeping it the same.
After the funeral.
Damn it! Wow, I would have.
What's yours?
I can't believe that Jamie. I thought I would have bet. I'm a betting man. I would have bet a lot of money that Jamie was marrying you, and that's because I'm Team Cass.
I'm gonna be a great husband, and I
know you will be.
and I know that for a fucking fact, Jamie.
You were
And
also
so
my
ain't-
husband's brother's roommate.
Oh,
It's just,
stop
like,
Yeah,
weird.
we all
It's
understand. Yeah, we
Stop
understand. No one's
it.
no
Let
one's
me
fucking.
live my life.
Yeah, you're allowed to. What'd you guys think of the Dr. Drew episode? I thought that was fucking awesome.
Amazing.
It was definitely got
You know how many-
deep. I mean, I should have expected it to. But
I've been listening to the guy since I was a
so smart.
boner popping 17, 16-year-old. And just
And that's when the boners were for chicks back then.
back then, yeah, before they evolved, and it's
so
so nice, to see the guy in person, just handsome as the day is long.
Here we go.
Just jacked out of his mind, but so smart and just so able to tune in to what's going on with each of us.
Yeah.
The way he said he can
Yeah.
look at somebody and just literally connect physically
Crazy.
with them.
Yeah.
Bananas, which is what you were trying to do with Joey.
Yeah, when I
you said
opened up.
yes, you were.
This
that's
is
all you were
Dr.
trying to
Drew.
do.
Is this Dr. Drew
Assume
talking to
the
you
Dr.
or
Drew.
me kissing
Yes.
Joe? Yeah.
Yes.
No, it was great.
He was listening with his whole body
Whole
to
body.
Joey's maybe kissing him. He got
Do you guys
so excited.
disagree or agree with anything that he said? Do you have any points?
I
that,
disagree with the depression with MS because I feel like most people with MS have depression.
okay. So he said
They don't have
that most
say de
people
resistance.
they have the de la France.
Yeah.
Well,
De-
the people that I've met that are worse off in the sense of that have trouble speaking or walk really they
Yeah.
can't ever walk. When I get my bearings, I can walk a little bit better. Those people, they're. I think maybe because I can fix it sometimes and not. That's why it's harder for me. I don't know, but that is true. But the depression part, I maybe disagree with a little bit because I was told when I was diagnosed that was a side effect.
Depression.
Mm-hmm.
See, as an addict or as just a short Irish guy from New York, whatever it is about me, whenever I hear somebody kind of pushing me out of my comfort zone or going against what I believe to be true or this, my instant reaction is to push back or want to fight it
I
and this.
know.
And I've learned through meditation and reading over the last 7 years how I am. And it's great through meditation because you realize when you're doing that shit. And like right as he said, like, you're doing something that I disagree with, my body was like, I just wanted to be like Irish. Nope. Like, no. And instead, I'm training myself now to more like turn this and open up and be like, it's okay, Rob. He's probably right. And it takes, certain things take longer than others. And sometimes you have to walk away for an hour. Sometimes it's a week later it hits you. But I trust him a lot. So as he was saying shit, you have to fight that thing of like, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And then it's like, no, you don't know what the fuck he's just giving his,
Isn't it interesting too, though, when you like brought up stories that not are insignificant, but you didn't think would be still affecting you possibly today, like with past relationships and relationships with women? Like, do you feel at all like, maybe that is a little bit?
Oh, well, that's the reason I brought them up.
So are you willing to maybe work through that with like therapy? Or?
Well, I think that's what I've been doing, for years and
but
figuring
you can't
things
do
out.
It all on your own.
And for sure. But I read a lot, and I think a lot of like a lot of the reason why I stopped with having sex was to do that. Was to make it important to me again and make it like, wow, if a woman is having sex with me, it's like it's a big deal.
It's important to you again, but you have to heal your relationship with it because, like you said, you had it and you're like, it hasn't changed. Like,
well, because I didn't do any work. I was just like, I'm not gonna have sex for three months.
Which is work. I mean, that's work.
Yeah,
Give yourself credit. That's hard.
But I just didn't try like
for me,
looking into it.
Great.
I didn't look into it and figure it out. But the reason why I brought up these things to Drew is from doing work.
Right.
And like, 2 years ago, because I was meditating all the time and I was constantly thinking about the girl who slept with my...
Oh, I thought you were saying the other girl.
No. The girl who slept with my my friend, and I ended up I hadn't spoken to her in 10 years, and I ended up reaching out to her, and I was like, hey, I just want like I've done a lot of work on trying to get better and trying to fix these things, and I spoke to her, and it was like such a great thing for me because now it's just a thing I'm over. I get it. I still have issues with him, and I do disagree with what Dr. Drew said of like why I chose that person. Like choosing her, I think he's right, but choosing that person, like. We hung out every day for 5 years, and he never did another fucked up thing to me. I trusted him with my life. Like, he was very... And then this happened, which, go back in time. Shit with fucking girls and guys and how all this stuff happens. It's like, whatever. But I don't have... obviously, it sounds contradictory, but I don't have untrustworthy people in my life and people who treat me like shit. I'm not like that at all.
Your circle is small.
Yeah. So it's like, it's just...
Yeah, I think he was saying that you could expand your circle by, letting go of the reins a little bit on your trust and maybe how you feel around it, which...
How do you think you got in? How do you think you got in the circle?
I got in very carefully. I had to jump through hoops to become your friend.
Mission Impossible, like...
I had to fucking rappel down.
And I trust Cass a lot. And I met him 5 years ago, and I lived in another... fucking the other side of the country for 4 of those years.
I've never crossed you, but I've also, sat there while you've talked about people who've crossed you and how you've just cut them out of your life.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy takes loyalty is one of your big needs,
Yeah.
We all have a list of needs, and one of your number one could be just loyalty. And I understand that as your friend. So but if you wanted to, you could expand that circle and being able to be let down by people and not letting it ruin you or create a resentment that you harbor for a long time, I think is an important part. And it's something I think I struggle with too. I think for a long time I used to be like, you cross me once and like, that's it. I don't need to ever put myself... I see myself as a gift, and I'm not going to gift you with my presence in your life if you ever disrespect that,
But see, I think you hear my stories and you only hear that stuff because I don't talk about all the people who have fucked me over who I do let back in. There's people in my life.
Yeah, I haven't heard those stories.
I was talking with my my uncle the other day, of like when I was 10 years old, I would come home and I would go to fucking play video games and my video games would be gone. I'd be like, what? And at the time, my uncle was dealing with drugs and all that stuff, and he would steal them to sell them for drugs. So when I was like 11 years old, I got a lock on my door with a key. So I was 11 years old, like, and my friends would come over for a play date, and I'd be like, hold on, let me grab my keys and like open my door. And everybody was like, what the? But to me, it was normal. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of people who have done a lot of things in my life where there's a lot of people I wouldn't talk to, but I do forgive it and that. But there's, 5 or 6 or 7 people in my life who have crossed me where I go, I'm never going. That's it. It's over.
It's probably better for a lot of those people.
Yeah, because it's just it's something where I could never look at them the same. I don't believe the things that those people did to me. I don't believe anyone would ever do to a friend or someone they loved. And it was.
Yeah. I don't know if I could get over somebody stealing my games. In 1995, my most prized possession was a Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, it was fucking tough, dude.
And number 2 was my Game Boy. Like I have a weird sort of thing around electronics. I don't know what it is. I have like attachment. I remember I had a pager when I was in like 7th grade. Mountain Dew had this promotion where if you were to send in 10 Mountain Dew UPC barcodes and $40, they'd send you a pager. And my parents didn't want me having a pager, so I kept this Mountain Dew pager in my sock drawer. And twice a day, Mountain Dew would page you with like promotions and things like that. And I had no one paging.
It would just say, "Do the do."
None of my friends knew how to use a pager. Yeah, it would just send you like a phone number. You'd call it and be like, "Extreme," And, But I was fascinated by it. I was like, oh, I just loved it. And my parents found it and they got rid of it because they thought they thought pagers
and that's why
drugs.
You're an alcoholic. Yeah,
and they took it from me, and I was depressed about it for like 9 months. I couldn't. I was so upset that
I think it's just more they took something that made you happy that didn't cause
and so
harm.
they ended up getting me a pager after I like wouldn't stop talking about it. And they said, okay, well, we'll get you one, but we use it to get a hold of you, and when we when we paid you, you have to call us within 20 minutes or something like that. Always keep dimes in your pocket to use the payphone. These are things a lot of kids will never ever know. But we had to keep change.
You're
on you.
old. Even I had to use quarters. Holy shit, dimes?
Yeah, 20 cents a call. 20 cents a call in Newbury Park in the 90s.
Oh.
And
I just want to say
it was 25.
Yeah, New York City was 25. I just want to say about my uncle is like now I love him so much, and he's one of the closest people to me, and I trust him so much.
People
and
can screw up, and especially with drugs. As you know, that you're just a different person when you're
Rob
under
never
the influence.
was to me though.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
he
presented a certain side of himself.
I was more so the guy who just didn't show up than the guy who showed up and acted like an asshole.
You always showed up. Oh, for me.
Yeah, but if you needed me to show up somewhere, I would have. Like there was like. I feel horrible saying it, but like I remember when my sister was like baptized, I remember like my bell fucking going off, and I remember like waking up and they were like, "Yeah, you missed the fucking church." Like and I was just like, "Huh?" Like and like there was a lot of shit like that in my life where, because I wasn't the guy who needed to drink every single day. I didn't wake up and drink, so I wouldn't just show up places drunk and a mess. But if I was in a fucking bender, I just wouldn't show up. I would just be like, okay, I'm just gonna turn my phone off, and it was before like smartphones, anything. So it was like phones were fucking dying all the time. You just be like, oh, I didn't know, or I forgot, or I had nowhere to write anything down in my life.
Not having your phone on you was like very common because not everyone had a phone.
It was more to like call out than like receive calls.
Yeah, totally. It was it's so weird to think now, but there was just a time when we were younger where you just couldn't get a hold of somebody instantly.
I remember when my mom had a cell phone and she would only turn it on when she wanted to call someone. And I remember being like, leave it on so someone can call you. Like, what? And it was like that big gray one with the little flip thing and the antenna.
Yeah, and car phones
or
before that.
Or you'd have to call back to your answering machine and like listen to the messages at home.
Mm-hmm.
You have to time it right and like push your code in on the brick phones, they called those, right?
Yes. Rotaries?
That's like the tick,
right?
tick, tick, tick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I read some emails?
Yeah, let's read
go
some
for
emails.
it.
Okay. Just found the podcast, love The Sopranos, and have missed Kassem from his channel for years now. I recall Kassem stating that he was an enormous Gandolfini fan. I don't know if you guys have discussed that already, but any cool stories about him to enable Kassem to relay more admiration would be cool. Great pod, and hope you keep uploading to YouTube.
Yeah, I'm a big Gandalf. I've never seen him turn in a bad performance, but I don't think I've seen his entire library. But I remember seeing Enough Said with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and that was right after he passed, right?
Yeah.
And I just thought, because it released after.
Did it?
Didn't it?
I wasn't sure.
I'm not sure. But I was just like, this guy's able to turn in such a nuanced performance that's so different than Tony Soprano and what we think of Tony Soprano, and he was just such a pro. And yeah, I mean, I've heard you guys tell me a few stories about him. I remember you said, at one point you came to him about, or he just asked you if you were having a bad day as when you were going through it, But I don't know. Are there any stories that you guys have that you haven't mentioned that you remember fondly?
I think, sometimes when it's somebody like that, there's like, you want to share because he was so loved, and I get that. But then there's other things I feel like you keep
for
to yourself.
you. Yeah. That's fine.
So not to not acknowledge Christian's email, but
we should have asked Dr. Drew about how you feel about James passing, because it seems to be a thing. We should have fucking asked him. He was right.
I mean, he would have said it's probably sad to watch someone you loved 80 videos of them who now has passed away.
I know. You're right.
What? I mean, it's not like not like we need someone to really unravel this.
No, I know, but it's just he would have offered some insight. He would have offered some great insight. I think in general, I think it's, you can have memories of him that you want to just keep to yourself, and everyone I think knows that he's like a wonderful, giving performer and a friend. It sounded like he was a big part of your lives outside of the show.
Yeah.
Too. So
I also sometimes I forget what I've said on this podcast and what I haven't. So I'm like, I don't want to repeat a story.
Totally.
But I remember like the one that I always share about him is, and I think I've shared this already, but now we're on video. And my manager, I forget if it was after he passed or whatever, but my manager told me that he used to call my manager and ask him like, how much money am I spending on rent? Like, am I okay with how my group of friends? Like, is everything? Am I good? And he would check up on me on set and talk to me, and we would hang out outside and everything. But he would still go that extra step to call my manager, and he would tell my manager, "Don't tell Robert that I call you." Yeah. So it's like you just see all this like Hollywood bullshit on Twitter of I love this person so much, and they haven't seen it, and like he would go and do things. Yeah, he would do things like that behind the scenes that I didn't even know about, and he would go and just make sure that and for someone to do that is just like, it's ridiculous, you know? And Jamie has talked about, things that she would be insecure about. He would instantly know like how to make you not feel that way and how to make you feel better and just he's one of the best. Yeah. He's amazing. And it's weird because when we went to the 20th anniversary, it's like people said it felt weird that he wasn't there. And obviously it does. But there's also a part of me that just looks around and I'm like, man, he would have hated this. Yeah. Like you're like, he would hate this red carpet and this thing and blah, blah, blah. And then there's like and then there's just some people there who, who are like, man, I wish Jim was here. And I was like, he'd be miserable here. Right. He would be like waiting until this was over so we could all go out to dinner and not be here,
Yeah.
That's fun.
Well, moving on.
What else you got?
To décolletage from Jonathan. Hi there. Just want to say I'm really enjoying the podcast. I'm on episode 10. You all are so passionate the way you talk about your life experience. Most of all, y'all are hysterical. I feel like I'm in your cool little friend circle. Jamie, you are so sweet, and I'm surprised how much you keep it real with relationship topics. Thanks. Rob, please continue to call Kassem's girlfriend Mutesh. I pissed myself laughing. Anyways, I recently found Kassem on Instagram, and that's how I found out about the podcast. I used to watch his videos all the time where he stopped people in California, and I used to drool because he's so handsome and fine. Wait, this is from Jonathan. Glad to hear
that's why he's excited.
Lovey, witty
Doesn't
sense
matter
of
to me.
humor.
I appreciate it.
So my question is for Kassem. Since you are one of the YouTube grandfathers from the early days, do you think creating videos for YouTube is still worth it? Recently, a lot of content creators share their frustration with the algorithms they place since it's pressuring them to upload every day. Thanks for sharing some of your personal struggles of the content creation you went through. I was wondering for years why you disappeared from YouTube. I hope you continue one day. P.S. I was listening to your podcast the other night in my car, and just as I'm dying laughter because of the word décolletage, I almost hit a deer. I'm fine, but I felt I needed to write in after that happened so you all could get a good laughing from the
Jeez.
Shy Guy.
You got to be careful. I watched a video where a deer just, they're coming out of the woods at like what seems like 60 miles an hour and just get crushed by this car. It was, that and moose are much bigger than you think they are. To answer your question,
It's
Jonathan.
meese.
Oh, yeah. No, look, that was really nice. Thanks for sending the email and saying all the nice things. I think I've addressed the whole YouTube thing and the frustrations around it like a couple times before. Essentially, I stopped making videos because it was hard for me to consider like a week, like putting up videos every day or every week and keeping some sort of like level of quality and keeping like my happiness. I couldn't balance all those things. I don't know if YouTube is still the same, but luckily for people that do want to make videos, you can go to YouTube, you can go to Twitch, you can go to Instagram. There's like Patreon. There's a lot of different ways to make money. It's not the same as it was back then. We were very fortunate to, when we were making videos at that time. But I'm trying to get. I have a whole series that I want to do. I just don't know like where to put it.
You'll get inspired and you'll know.
I think I have the inspiration. I just don't want to talk about it yet until like I just want to drop the episodes because I don't like when people go, hey man, I got a big thing coming up, a big project.
You want to just drop the bomb.
I've always done that, whether it be like my the ghost videos or whatever. Just I like the idea of just dropping like an hour-long video out of nowhere. And it totally hurts the amount of views I get and stuff like that. But to me, it's like, why hype something? Just put it out there.
Yeah.
There are some Kassem fans just jerking off at home right now.
Dude.
Right?
Oh,
While you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna put it out. They're just refreshing, waiting for that fucking.
There's a few of them still out there.
For sure.
I've got a diehard 100 people that are there for me
number.
waiting.
It's way more than I got, buddy.
Thanks for the email, buddy.
This is from Alex. Hey, y'all. I'm a huge Sopranos fan that got turned on to Pajama Pants after listening to Rob on Poda Bang. Enjoying it so far. It's a nice, odd little mix of funny and inspiring. Jamie, I noticed that you're part of the new Tim and Eric show coming out on Adult Swim. Holy shit. I'm a massive fan and actually worked for Absolutely for a little while. Truly a dream to see my Sopranos T&E worlds colliding. Can you tell us anything about the show? How did you enjoy working in their bizarre little world? Thanks and keep up the great work.
Yeah. Can you talk about this now?
I can talk about it.
Great.
It's out. So I am in a little sitcom that's going to be on Adult Swim coming out, I have no idea when, soon, in a couple months, with Tim and Eric called Beef House. I play Eric's wife, Megan. And that's really all I can say. It's just all of us living in a house together, and I'm sure you can just draw your own conclusions. But it was so much fun. The most bizarre thing I've ever been a part of. I would many days have no idea what was happening, which was so fun. And they're also like the nicest humans ever.
Yeah. Just from a comedy perspective, I have never been let down or felt uninterested by anything they've ever done.
Wow, that's cool.
They've always turned in something like completely like unexpected but yet funny, and they're
very intelligent.
They're pioneers. They're super smart.
And if Kassem came in here today winking at you, so if that's still the most bizarre thing you've ever worked on, they must be out there.
100%.
Yeah.
When I wink at some people, they get aroused. Okay, so if it didn't work today, that's fine. I'm just letting you know, there's people like Jonathan out there.
The emails are just flooding in now.
Yeah.
People who get aroused when Kassem winks at them. Hey, and by the way, Jamie, just to get it right, it's mutation. Hey, you go. Yeah, you can't just say mutation.
I can't wait to see the show. Do you have a date?
Nope. March? I don't know.
Kassem,
I'll find out.
Would you, speaking of mutation, would you record her yelling at you for the podcast one time? How great would it be if we had audio of you? And I know, you could, now if you start recording, you could egg her on a little if that's the, oh, it'd be so good.
I got to be very careful with what I say here. Sometimes if we're in an argument, I used to, I haven't done this in a while, but I would turn on the voice recorder. And
yeah,
I'd be like,
that's what I'm saying.
And I'd be like, I'm recording you now. And then she would just go zip.
Do you have any
shut down?
Do you have any old clips of?
I probably do.
Is it egg her on? Is that right? Is that the right saying?
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
That's right.
So
sometimes when you think too hard about words,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
I think for that to happen, she'd have to come on the show and be able to defend herself.
Bring her on.
Well,
It's
for
time.
sure,
We've
you
been
have to bring her
talking
on, but
about
I
If
think
we stay together, I could drop this bitch at any moment.
yeah, because You know we're staying.
Did anyone buy that? No?
You know we're staying together, so.
Hence why I'm
Lindsay.
killing Kassem.
Oh, come on. That was
Okay.
a joke. Everyone could see it.
Ay, ay, ay. Let's talk about
It's
a guy
rough
who
out
loves
there.
his girlfriend. To the Pajama Pants crew. This email comes right after listening to the most recent pod, which happened to make
Transition.
my whole day. I've been a fan of Kassem since the very early
Oh,
YouTube days.
yes. Mugh, dude.
Yeah.
All I do is celebrate your successes, and you
I
muck.
love you. I just didn't like that.
You should see who this guy is when the cameras are off.
The first California on Comic-Con
It's a
was my
monster.
introduction. So about 10 years ago up until he blew up and decided to be in Transformers.
That's
that
right.
actually didn't have anything to do with me not watching
The
more of him.
fourth one.
I'm pretty sure
motherfucker.
he just stopped making videos. This is until he posted about starting a new podcast with who? Oh crap, the kids from The Sopranos. I love that show. So I immediately subscribed and tuned in
Thank
and grew
you.
to like Rob and Jamie as much as the weird man himself. Every episode has been a treat to Mondays. I even started sending clips of the conversations to my girlfriend, a graphic designer. She loved them too and decided she had to listen as well. Lo and behold, y'all needed a logo and she sent in a design
yeah.
and here we
Ellie.
are. Me clicking off the podcast where you talked about using the design she made. Woo, go Ellie. Keep up what you're doing if you're enjoying it. I listen to way too many podcasts, and yet this one is by far my favorite for now. Don't mess this up. Don't be dumb. We're all counting on you. Kevin. P.S. Ellie and I have been in a long-distance relationship for almost a year now. She's in Florida. I'm in California, and this has been a great little connection for us. Thank
She's
you.
looking for
Hey,
someone to
thanks,
fuck.
Kev. And I don't know if have we shouted out Ellie on the...
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
Okay,
That's what he's saying.
Thanks again. Our wonderful logo was made by
Ellie.
Ellie, and you can see that on our Instagram page.
Yep.
And then also, if I can give a word of advice, because I was in a long distance relationship for two years, 2.5 maybe.
Too many.
Here's what I did wrong. I hated FaceTiming, and you have to FaceTime. And it's not just to jerk off in front of her and like do that. It's just like to get face-to-face connection
Yes,
time and like
yes.
talk to each other.
And to see that they're not lying about where they are.
Oh, is that what you used it for?
I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Kassem didn't care where she was.
I didn't have to worry about that. But yeah, long distance.
A little cocky.
You know, what you want to do is always have something on the books, like a trip planned or
Yeah.
like, oh, we're going to see each other even if it's like 2 months out or something like that, you know, get something on the books. That way you have something to look forward to. And try and FaceTime. I think FaceTiming is more of a thing women like to do. I don't know. I hate to assign it to a gender, but I don't like to FaceTime.
I don't like to be on the phone at all.
I
and
don't.
it really
I-
drives Cutter
yeah.
crazy. Like when he traveled for work this whole week, and I was totally fine texting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he would FaceTime me.
Okay. Well, maybe
lot.
you know, it's 50-50.
I hate
He would
I hate
FaceTime and I would just
FaceTime.
put it on the kids, and he'd be like, "Jamie, are you there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here."
Yeah.
I don't mind FaceTime if it's like a 1 minute little thing, but like trying to like operate with I hate that whole
awkward.
I
hate
just
that whole
don't look
thing.
good from certain angles, and that happens
Which
to
are
be
most
Well, you
Oh,
end up
Lord.
looking at yourself so much in it, which is just terrible. My favorite is when people they're waiting for the person to pick up, and they're like,
Yeah. It's the
Hi.
fucking worst.
Oof.
And that's one great thing about isolating yourself is I'm like, oh wow, I'm seeing less and less of that. And then like I realize I go somewhere where there's like a lot of people, and I'm like, oh, people are
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
Like I went to my friend's restaurant opening. There were 2 girls at the bar, like this,
Yeah.
and doing that for over a half hour.
Yeah.
terrible.
The
Terrible.
whole
Terrible.
and you're going, oh, this can't be real. Like you're looking for the camera. I'm
I
like,
went to an
Right.
event last night.
whoa,
And I know, crazy.
out of character.
And I literally like went in, took a picture, and walked out and got in an Uber. I'm not even kidding. I didn't even go inside the party because it
You're like
was
Pajama Pants Podcast.
it
I'm
was
out.
all influencers and
Oh,
many
hell yeah.
influencers. And I think it's such a hard job. I think it's so hard to like create content and think about post. I think it's very hard to post all day, every day. I do. I also am just very confused by this business.
Totally. Because
I took a selfie of myself yesterday with my hair long, thinking like, should I cut it or not? Because I generally didn't know, but I felt like such a douchebag after I put it up. I'm like, I'm the worst. That was so embarrassing that I just did that.
it's a business that rewards consistency as opposed to talent. And I'm not saying influencers aren't talented. There's
No.
a ton of very talented
And creative.
people that are considered influencers. But if you were to be like, hey, are you an influencer? They'd be like, no, I'm like I do video game content, right? But there are a lot of people, I think Instagram is a home to most of them, that are
No, they say they're influencers.
Yeah, they're very good at uploading certain things that, you know, I don't know what it is, but, you know, let's just say if you're a model, then you're going to be taking a lot of photos of yourself, and it's like you're going to upload those at certain times. You're going to integrate brands, and I mean, it is a full-time gig, but it rewards, and it's hard. You got to work hard, but it rewards consistency, and the talent is in the work ethic and in the, you know.
I'm not trying to shit on it. It just
no, and it's hard.
Me.
It's so hard because it's hard to not sound like you're shitting on it, but there's also a ton of people that, you know, just, you're like, I don't know why you have 200,000 followers or like 1 million followers. And then you look at their feed and it's just pictures of their ass and a G-string, and you're like, oh, I get that. That doesn't necessarily take talent. That just takes an ass that you either bought or were
also,
born with.
people buy followers and likes and comments, which is so bizarre.
Which is something I've and it's very easy to tell when they do that.
How do you think we got 1,000?
How do you tell?
You tell because they'll have a ton of followers, but their likes on their photos are super low.
But then you can buy likes and comments now, I hear.
Well, okay, I'm sure you can.
This was like the chitter chatter at the event.
But you got to buy those, and they're not going to buy them on every one.
Picture.
Maybe they do, but I don't. Maybe there's some sort of cool package deal. But
Interessante.
Maybe there's some really cool package deals.
Maybe there's some cool package deals. I could help out with that.
You know what is crazy too is like you see people who will like take a selfie, or they'll like do something dumb for a selfie, and then like people walking by or standing there like look at them, and then they're ashamed. So it's like, so you were willing to look like an idiot in real life
for a good picture,
and you knew you were looking like an idiot in real life. I think I spoke about this before, but this book I was reading, it said the person you are when you're home, when you're inside, when you're alone or with whoever, that your genuine person, and then the person you are when you're outside that you pretend to be, whatever the further the distance between those two, the less respect you have for yourself.
Yeah.
So if you're like, you know, I'm this super fucking nice guy outside, and then at home I'm this like angry, that you don't really respect yourself. And no, but if you're,
except I'm fucking angry.
But if your like morals are different, not like, you know, or whatever. But I think for me, like a big reason why I kind of got off social media, there was a bunch, but was I started to feel that way about my friends. Like I started to not respect my friends as much because I'd be like, dude, this isn't you.
Right.
Like why are you putting this?
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're doing it to have 1 million followers and make a living, you can get away with it. When you have 300 followers and you're like married or something, and you put on this like whole fake it's like, what are you
Well, they got to start somewhere.
Yep.
But I'm talking about people who aren't even trying to be famous. You know, and it's just it's fake.
And that's, you know, there's a reason why suicide rates among teenagers are at an all-time high. There's like the addition of social media.
It's because you stopped putting out YouTube videos.
Yeah. The addition of like social media.
Save the youth, Kassem.
FOMO is a big thing. When you see people living this, like I have somebody I follow on, this is going to be a bad example. Somebody I follow on Instagram, and they're always like in Spain or in Greece, and they're, you know, every photo is like she's on some sort of fucking old rock somewhere in the middle of some exotic country, and it's wow. All you do when you look at something like that is go like, oh, I'm just in Culver City today, you know, like I went outside to take the trash.
I look at those and I'm like, that's an awesome picture, but what was it like to get it? Like Rob was saying, like what was it like to climb that rock?
Yeah.
And
but you could argue
that's what's interesting to you.
I respect that you don't give a fuck that people are looking at you for 30 minutes being like, no.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Totally.
That's like,
well, it's not
the level
realistic.
Of I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Has to be high.
Yeah.
Also, you have to be a little egocentric.
I think narcissism, and this is something Drew talks about a lot, is narcissism and the Dunning-Kruger effect, and it's like we are at an all-time high where people right now think that they're more important than maybe they actually are with every social, like Instagram. We live and die by the likes and like how many hearts we get on a picture. And like, if you post a picture and then for some reason, and ask yourself, if you didn't get a like number that like maybe you didn't get 100 likes, or maybe a certain person didn't like it, it kind of bums you out.
Yeah.
And it's like, why does that bum me out? Why does the fact that this person didn't like this photo, or I didn't hit 100?
Why are they not commenting?
Why did they not comment? Like, I actually put this photo up because it's like something this person would like, and they didn't even like it or comment on it. Like, these sort of things that we create in our own head. Meanwhile, the person just could not be on Instagram that day or whatever, and all of a sudden you've put so much, you've invested so much of your energy into a meaningless photo that won't add to your day or take away from your day, but we get these little dopamine hits when we see that person that likes it, or like, ooh, this photo hit
Totally right.
this photo hit 300. This photo hit 300 likes today, you know, and it's we're like feeding this machine that is ultimately like harming us. And we'll do that thing that we did when they had cocaine and Coca-Cola. Like, we'll look back on it and be like, I can't believe we had social media. Like, I can't believe
I'm
kids.
telling you, my son, I think Bo's generation is going to grow up and be like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is this?
Yeah.
losers?
Why are my parents like depressed, and
Yes.
why are they all on drugs?
Yes.
You know, there's gonna be some fallout that we don't necessarily
100%.
understand.
Well, you know, I never like I don't have social media, and I never comment on YouTube videos. And I remember there was one time I watched a YouTube video, and I left a comment because I thought it was a funny joke. And like I had probably left 3 in my whole life. Now maybe like 8 or something. And I wrote the joke, and like I shut it down. I went to bed, whatever. And I looked like the next day when I opened my laptop, and it was like notification, and it was like all these people said stuff, and then it was a #1 comment and had like thousands of likes and shit, and I was like, oh, I get why people who have no friends
Right.
might
Feel connected.
Yeah.
this might get you go, because like
Right.
I woke up thinking like, okay, it was like any other day, whatever, open my thing, and it was like, oh, like thousands of people are talking about this comment you made, and then I was like, oh, okay, like I was like, that made me go, I'm never leaving a comment ever again, because I just don't. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want that to, it didn't matter to me, but I don't want it to start to matter. But
I was listening to Justin Long's podcast today, and I was listening to his episode with Jonah Hill.
Oh, cool.
And Jonah was saying that when his movie, the mid-90s, came out,
Yeah, it's a great movie.
he so obsessively was checking the Rotten Tomatoes score and like what people were saying that was the end of his like social media, like online presence,
Oh.
because he was like, I saw it didn't become about the people I met on the film, the experiences I had, the joy it gave me, all that stuff. It just
Yeah.
became about that number, and it took away everything.
Yeah.
And he incredibly so like had the self-reflection to just be like, peace, like this is doing
Yeah.
bad shit to me.
That ties in
Great.
exactly to what we were talking about with YouTube earlier in the in the emails. Was it after a while becomes about how many views can I get on this video? What can I do in this video that will like increase the, you know, it's spreading, going viral, and doing things like that, as opposed to like, did I want to make this video? Did I enjoy making this video? Were the people that I made this video, like, did I have a good time making it? It became less about that, and then it became more about like, if this video doesn't hit 1 million views, and I just paid a camera guy, an editor, and I you know, rented a prop, and like I won't make my money back, and it's like you start worrying about all these things that really shouldn't matter, but all of a sudden do, and
Right.
and then it becomes work, and then it goes against everything that you wanted to do it for in the first place, which is because you're like, oh, I'm being creative. And
But that's the thing. It's like sitting here with Dr. Drew. Like you said, you came back in. You're like, man, that was great. And it's like, if that got no views on YouTube, people would be like, oh, that was unsuccessful. We're like,
But
for
that
us,
take
we're
away
like,
from our experience.
we're like,
right.
well, that was great.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so people can, you know, it's and that's the thing. It's like, I look at this, I'm like, this is my favorite thing right now. Like, I love doing this, and like, it's not super successful, but in my head, I'm like, man, I'm just really happy doing it.
I think that's why I have a very hard time, and I've gotten trouble before with like projects I've been a part of promoting. It's not that I'm not proud of it, but it's like, I loved what I got to do, and I love the people I met and the thing I did. Like, I don't want to put it out there for judgment, or like, I don't
Yeah.
care about anyone's opinion. Maybe it's because, I mean, other than Sopranos, like, I haven't been a part of anything that was like of critical acclaim. So I'm
Yeah.
just used to like people not giving a shit about what I do. But like,
Right.
I don't know. It's very hard. Even when I'm on a movie set, I'm not one to be like, like in my trailer, you know,
Yeah.
because it's not that I'm not proud of it and like wanting to celebrate, but I don't know. It's just like, it's just not part of it's not why I'm doing this.
Right.
But also, if you're really in the moment and really enjoying it, are you thinking like, hey, I better tell everyone?
No, but I don't know.
Like-
Maybe if I am in like Transformers 6, I'm going to want to post dope shit from
I
that
know a
set,
couple.
you know?
Yeah.
Kassem will, yeah.
Michael Bay's my boy.
I'll get you
Give
in
him a
there.
call, man. What's he like?
That's a whole other podcast. I don't think I can say
Is
it.
this time up or do we have more?
You
What's
can do
going
one
on?
more. I think we got it like 10 minutes.
Okay. Hi, Jamie, Rob, and Kassem. Love this podcast. You guys have the best stories. I first watched The Sopranos when I was 11 years old. Oh, whoa, whoa. And
Wow.
many, many times since. It's
No
such
wonder
an
you like my
incredible
stories.
series. And although Rob and Jamie always downplay their talents, I think they portrayed their characters perfectly and will forever be my favorite brother-sister duo.
Oh, Jamie-Lee.
Now I'm 20 years old and still always put on The Sopranos as comfort when I'm anxious. Got a question for Rob. What are the ups and downs of playing poker for a living? What made you stop doing it? Thank you, Ava.
The ups, I mean, the greatest thing in the world to me is not working for someone. And I think it really helped me realize that when I started taking Ubers and I would talk to these Uber drivers. And it's like I took taxis in New York City my whole life. Very rarely did I ever have a conversation with them. But when I would take Ubers, I'd find myself talking to these guys and they were like super just happy and like upbeat, and especially compared to cab drivers in New York. And you're like, what the fuck? So I started asking them and they said the reason why they're happy and they feel good is because they're like,
They make their own schedule.
I make my own schedule. So I wake up, I take my kid to school, I grab something to eat. There's no like, oh my God, am I 4 o'clock? What if I'm late?
Yeah.
So they go, and then they're like, okay, I work from, 10 a.m. until 2:30. Then I clock out. I go pick up my kid from school. I take them home. I feed them. My wife comes home. Sometimes I go out for 3 more hours. Sometimes I don't. And it's like, that's what I loved about poker. It was like, if I wanted to go play for fucking 16 hours straight, I could. If I wanted to not play that day, I could. And also, when you're doing bad, there's nobody who you're like, oh my God, I have to go see the boss. He's going to tell me I'm doing bad. It's like, you have to figure it out. So it's like, okay, what am I doing? Am I not as focused at the
Taking
table?
responsibility.
Yeah. So it's like, am I not as focused at the table? Have I not been practicing? Is it because it can just be bad luck too? Sometimes is it bad luck? And it's like going home, figuring that out. And sometimes I would go home and watch, 8 hours of fucking poker
Wow.
videos and it was because I love to do it. It wasn't because I was like, oh, I have to go do this. And it was just, it was something I loved. The bad part, the reason I stopped, I feel like I'll always do it. As far as like, it's something I do, I enjoy it, it's fun. But sitting at a table with, 8 strangers for 12 hours a day just became really tough. Once my mind cleared up and I was sober and I wasn't taking pills and I wasn't taking anything, just sitting there and kind of like feeling stuck in a certain situation, or when you hear people at a table who are talking about things that maybe start to get under your skin after 4 or 5 hours of sitting there here, and there were times where I was just like, what the fuck am I doing here? And I would just there were a lot of times where I was fucking miserable.
Yeah, and it seemed to really throw off your like clock, because you'd be
Oh, yeah.
Very much.
you'd be up all night, and then like for the next 2 days, you just were trying to work back into a regular sleep cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you found out like, hey, there's this good game over here,
Yeah.
and you went at 9 o'clock at night, all of a sudden the next thing you know, it's the next day at noon, and like you're still playing and things are going, and you have no idea because whether it's at a private game or at these casinos, there's no like windows, you don't know what time it is, there's no clocks, there's no anything.
Also, at times can be pretty unsafe. Coming
Yeah.
home with money and like cash or just like late weird hours. I mean, did you ever get into some like weird, like sort of sketchy situations?
I've been at places that have been held up when I wasn't there, and there was one time where I was there and the
scary.
cops came and
To an illegal house
illegal,
game?
yeah. This is back in New York before poker really blew up, and there was a place that had like 10 tables, and people would just play there all night. And it was one of those like all of a sudden the fucking.
So what happens when the cops come? Do you lose all your money?
So there's actually a lot of different stuff that could happen. It depends on the place. Some places are so successful that they're like, yeah, no, we'll pay you back with it. And then
reimburse.
there's other, I don't want to say what state I was in, where I was,
Yeah.
anything like that. But I have been in a illegal poker place seen police officers walk in, have a little chat, and walk out. Yeah. So, and I'm not saying where, it might not have even have been in America, but it was. But I'm just saying, so you've seen all of it. I've seen, I know people who fucking have gotten shot with, $200 in front of them. I know, you hear all the stories, but
yeah, it's tough, man.
Yeah,
it's a
but
tough way to live.
I would say 99% it's very safe, and people who would say, well, how do you make poker safer is don't play in those illegal games, because that's where shit, happens and goes wrong. As far as you're in a casino, what's really crazy is, so the Bellagio in Vegas is one of like the biggest casinos in the world. And they have this side entrance, which is usually for poker players. And we all go in there, and some dude, one dude robbed it, however, I forget, but another dude came in on a motorcycle, the motorcycle helmet, left the motorcycle helmet on, walked right to the cage. He's like, I have a gun, give me all the money. They give him all the money. He goes outside, back on the motorcycle, gone.
That was a rough draft of Ocean's 11.
I am shocked that a casino like the Bellagio, that could happen.
It's crazy. You don't understand, because what happens is, like,
aren't there 100 guards like waiting to come out with guns?
While I was living in Vegas, some guy went in to rob the casino, robbed it, was on the way out of the casino. The fucking cops, you could see the video of it. It's sick. They're standing outside the casino. They get the call. Hey, he's wearing a blue shirt. They look. He's right there. The guy fucking pulls out a gun. They start shooting at each other at the Bellagio, like in the parking.
But that's what I mean. How'd that
main
motorcycle
entrance
guy get out?
Listen, shit just happens. Like sometimes people say, well, maybe it's an inside job. Maybe somebody's saying, hey, if you come at exactly fucking 11:40 tonight, I'll make sure that you'll have 120 seconds to get away.
How much of Vegas is still mobbed up? Like a percentage?
I don't know. I know that supposedly when Uber tried to, because I was there and Uber got into Vegas, and then like 3 months later, gone.
Yeah.
You just open the app and there's no Ubers.
Why?
And it was the
unions.
Kassem just said it was.
I mean, they built it. The mob. I mean, if doesn't the Irishman deal with this?
See it.
Vegas, no.
Or what's Scorsese movie?
Casino.
Casino.
Casino
Sorry.
is all of it. Yeah.
Casino is pretty much, gives you a little bit of the story about how the mob just kind of built a city in the middle of the desert and financed all these casinos and like took a big, are getting paid, but they tried to essentially were like money laundering through this very lucrative business of casinos. And that just doesn't go away,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's like, I don't know.
Kickbacks.
I don't want to
Bo
get
is
shot.
FaceTiming me.
Is he?
Yeah.
Should you
I
pick
it
up? Yeah.
Bo, you're ruining my theory about women only like to FaceTime.
Hi, Bo.
Hey, Bo.
What's the matter? You have a bad bruise?
What happened?
Oh,
that's sad.
okay, buddy.
He's
I'm going to
crying.
come home soon, okay? I'll be home soon.
I'll play hockey with you. I'll play hockey with you when I come over, okay?
Also, hey.
You want to say hi to Kassem?
No.
Hi, Bo.
I wouldn't.
Hi, buddy. He's not
I
stoked.
know. I'm
All right.
sorry, baby.
Sorry
Love
you're feeling
you.
bad.
So I'll tell you right now, I watched Don't Fuck with Cats because you told me to.
Yahoo! Wait. No, this needs a much
I know. Yeah,
more-
we're about done.
We're doing that.
We have
we're
an
doing
hour?
that next week. Don't fuck with cats.
We gotta-
I need like so much time to talk to you.
Let's talk about that next week.
Okay.
I do want to thank you guys for sending us emails.
Yes.
AskPajamaPants@gmail.com.
We're getting to the point where we're not getting through.
I know,
all of
it's great.
that.
I love it.
Yeah.
And our Instagram just broke 1,000
Whoop,
followers.
whoop.
It's
Yeah.
great. Subscribe to
I
our
ate some
YouTube
chocolate
channel.
Peanut butter cups in celebration.
Yeah.
You're going to
1,000
have
of them.
those either way, I'm pretty sure.
One for every follower.
Hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching right now and you like it, share it with a friend, and that's how we grow. And we're growing slowly, but we're growing, and I
We're
think that's what's
doing it.
important.
He is so horny today.
I'm so horny, you guys. And we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.